It all started with a foul smell.
We just found 2 bags in the shed, and there's flies all. I think they're in the shed in a bag, okay? And I'm just scared to open it.
Taking the officers on a chase across states.
No? How far do you go? Right here? Okay.
While the killer was casually talking to unsuspecting strangers.
And where's the library at?
He left a body rotting in a garbage can, shocking officers who thought they'd seen it all.
That doesn't look normal.
Let's grab a mask.
The family is torn, not realizing the killer is one of their own kind.
I can't even.
August 23rd, 2018, Clinton Township, Michigan. When teen Danielle Marzejka went missing and her boyfriend disappeared, her family raised the alarm, only to find that she had been home the whole time, just not the way they imagined. What police discovered left even seasoned detectives horrified. A crime so savagely brutal, it seemed almost unreal. Stuffed in a garbage can, 18-year-old Danielle was found because of a terrible smell, and the state of her body would forever traumatize her loved ones. This story took place northeast of Detroit in an upcycled trailer park. This particular unit was rented by Robert Joseph Marzejka, who lived there with his children, Robert Jr., Kevin, and 18-year-old Danielle and her 19-year-old boyfriend. Across the country, detectives chased the murderer and shockingly revealed the killer was someone the family knew all too well, and he carried out the heinous crime in their very own house. How could this happen in a house full of people? The truth might shock you. Today, we will share with you the true story of Danielle Marzejka and her boyfriend, Seren Bryan. Since Danielle lost her mother 7 years ago, Bryan was a welcome addition. Danielle and Seren worked night shifts at a food place called National Coney Island, carpooling with a friend.
They both work with me. I dropped them off after work on Thursday morning. They've been missing since Thursday at 8 a.m. That's when I dropped them off. That's the last time they were seen.
Where'd you drop them off?
Here, at their house, after work.
This friend noticed something odd while they were searching for the couple.
So we were looking for the key. We couldn't find the key. One of the keys is missing.
On August 22nd, Danielle, Seren, and a friend finished their usual late-night shift. By 8 a.m., they were back at the trailer. Joseph stepped out, said goodbye, and never saw them again. That night, Danielle's friend needed a ride. She texted her again and again. Danielle didn't reply. It was alarming. She never left her phone or charger anywhere. When someone suddenly disappears from the digital world, what does that mean in the real one? Her friend had a bad feeling. So after finishing a long shift, she drove straight to the trailer. Joseph and Robert were there, but Danielle and Seren were still missing. Then she noticed some things. Danielle's phone charger was still by the bed. Seren's wallet was untouched. And most concerning of all, Danielle's glucose meter was sitting right there. She was diabetic. She never left without it. They hadn't packed. They hadn't left. So where were they? On August 26th, Danielle's brother Kevin finally stepped into her room and then looked out the window. The yard was torn up, grass flattened, dirt disturbed. Something heavy had been dragged. He followed the trail to the locked shed. Inside, a cloud of black flies and 2 large trash bags at the back, too heavy to lift. So Kevin took a box cutter and opened one. Whatever happened to Danielle and Seren hadn't been hidden well, just delayed.
We found the spare, and there was a bag covered in flies. It smelled like death, and we were trying to figure out what was in it. So her dad and brother cut it open and pulled the plastic apart, and then both screamed and freaked out and ran to the shed.
What spilled out wasn't trash. It was human remains. How could something so horrific hide in plain sight? It was just after 9 p.m. Kevin dialed 911.
911, where's your
Hello?
emergency?
Hello?
Hello, 911.
Hi, I need someone to come to my house immediately.
Okay, what's going on over there?
Well, my sister's been missing for 4 or 5 days. Her and her boyfriend. And we just found 2 bags in the shed, and there's flies all. I think they're in the shed in a bag, okay? And I'm just scared to open it.
He tried keeping his composure and then urged the dispatcher to hurry.
How many bags in that shed?
there's like 5 bags, but these 2 are the ones with flies all over them. Okay, can you just get someone here to check, please?
Yep, we're getting everyone on the way. What's your name?
Kevin Marzejka.
Officers were dispatched to the mobile home in Clinton Township. They didn't expect the horror that awaited them inside. Joseph stands outside the trailer, watching the police pull up, while Kevin tries to explain the situation.
Sir.
Hi.
Hey.
So what's going on here?
So, my sister, his daughter, has been missing for 5 days now.
Okay.
I did a walk around the house to check if there's any trails or anything suspicious. I've seen a boatload of flies behind the shed. And when I pulled things out, we have these
It
bags.
smells like death in there.
Kevin has already seen more than he can handle.
I can't even open it.
What makes you think that she's there? What makes you think something happened to her?
Don't make me think she's there. Don't tell me she's there.
Joseph finally admits the unthinkable, that his daughter might be treated like garbage in a shed. Kevin leads the officers to the locked door.
So let's just see what we got first. And yeah, I mean, we don't even know what we have.
They look inside, then move into action without a word, struggling to process the gruesome scene.
That doesn't look normal.
Let's grab a mask.
They seal off the area, and officer approaches with caution.
I'll tie it here, and then we'll get the front. Sound good?
Officers cordon off the crime scene.
Oh yeah, dude. We don't have to cut. We're confirmed.
An officer spots a black t-shirt.
Confirmed.
Confirmed. Yes, it is. It is. Get everybody out here.
Could it be Danielle? Is this why Seren was missing? Possibly on the run? Tied up in bags, stuffed in a garbage can, officers find 2 sets of limbs and torsos, no heads, showing that 2 people had been slain, dismembered, and hidden. An autopsy, if it can be called that, confirmed the bodies as Danielle and Seren by matching tattoos, scars, and the curve of a shoulder. Whoever did this knew the home inside out, using a key to lock the shed, just steps from Joseph's bedroom, hiding the remains behind the lawnmower. Detectives re-entered the trailer to conduct a thorough search investigation, combing bedrooms, pulling sheets, and opening drawers. How could a horror like this unfold so close to home without anyone noticing?
That's as tense as it gets, is clearing a house. We're going through each room, we're opening each closet door, immediately drawing and getting our light in there.
It gets more complicated, or perhaps too simple. Cleaning supplies are stacked in every corner. Bleach, gloves, heavy-duty trash bags, even a damp mop bucket. Officers spot faint blood smears in the bathroom and Danielle's room. Not enough for 2 bodies, but enough to show it began inside. Autopsy reports confirm both victims were stabbed repeatedly. Limbs were sawed off. And it gets darker. Evidence suggests the bodies were elsewhere, possibly in the very rooms the family were in, before ending up in the shed. Who could carry out such horror right under their own roof? Officers piece together a horror. Both bodies are decomposed, bound, and bagged. Seren's wrapped in 5 plastic bags, duct taped at mouth and nose. Danielle's bound similarly. Severe head fractures and no signs of struggle point to asphyxiation while they slept. Nearby, investigators find a plastic bag with a bloodied rubber hammer, extra duct tape, pillows, and a sheet from their bed. It is a nightmare. Inside the trailer, Luminol reveals hidden bloodstains in a closet, evidence stuffed away in a frantic cover-up. The closet reveals more. The perpetrator had been in a hurry to hide everything. Kevin and Joseph face questioning at the station. Yet, when pressed, Kevin's grief hides a slip-up.
Kevin, Joe Burns, I'm a detective here.
Can't quit.
But was he being entirely honest?
How's Seren's relationship been with Danielle? I mean, they get along.
I mean, from what I was told from her friends,
Okay.
that her boyfriend would never hurt her. So I figured if, she got hurt, he was with her,
He unknowingly reveals a critical detail that redirects suspicion.
So, just so I can get this straight in my head, because I'm not that smart.
Yeah.
Living there at that time, so within the last week, I had you living there? Your dad?
Yeah.
Seren?
Yeah.
Danielle? Was there anybody else?
My brother,
Okay, and what's your brother's name?
Robert.
Okay.
This is the first time they are hearing about Robert Marzejka. Apparently, He was home when the couple went missing, but when police got involved, he ran off and checked into a motel minutes away. Officers decide to bring him in.
Were you trying to communicate with him that night?
I tried on Facebook Messenger.
Okay, but you didn't try
And, well, the thing is, I could tell, he caught, drift of what's going on, and he pretty much said he's shutting his phone off. I gotta go charge my phone, and then he never came back online. Right.
Meanwhile, Joseph's calm demeanor and troubled past, losing his wife, alcoholism, raised new questions.
Dad, how's your dad?
Always a drunk.
Okay.
And we lost my mom in 2011, and he's never really been the same. 3 kids, we've been on our own pretty much since.
What does he do?
He paints.
Okay.
Yeah.
So has he been painting at all?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's been going out to work, but you said he's drinking quite a bit?
Yeah.
At first, Joseph seems composed, just a grieving father. But his history of heavy drinking and recent loss make detectives wonder, could he be hiding something?
I do is worry about her. And now, the end is near. And so I face the final curtain.
For you?
Yeah.
Why for you?
Because if that's her in my shed, I'm done, son. I'm done.
Unfortunately, his story changes. During the entire interrogation, he insisted the shed opened with his key, until he suddenly seemed to remember.
And you don't remember whose key you used to get in there?
You know what? My key wasn't on the shelf.
Right.
I remember that.
Now you
Where
remember.
it always is.
It was Kevin's key.
Now you remembered after I told you that.
What?
Because the whole day you were telling me that it was your key you were using.
Because that's what I always use. All right?
And then when I told you that...
Well, believe me.
Pressed, he doubles down, explaining every detail he knows about that key.
Because I went up on the shelf where I have the house keys, and it wasn't there. So I said, my key's not there. And I checked my pockets, because sometimes I have it. No, it wasn't there.
It's going nowhere, so the detective decides to talk about Robert Jr.
Where's Robert staying at right now?
I have no clue.
You said Robert was with you when you went to work on Thursday?
Yeah.
Did he pick you up, or did you go pick him up, or how did it work?
No, he picked me up. He dropped me off.
Okay.
Joseph grows defensive, refusing to involve his son.
So he picked you up in the morning, dropped you off at 5:30.
Yep.
So you were with him the whole day.
Yes.
I'm trying to put pieces together because we want to talk to Robert so that we can get his story too.
I'd rather not involve somebody that doesn't need to be involved.
Joseph's reaction is increasingly suspicious. The reason? Because all the blood and evidence were found in none other than Robert Jr.'s bedroom and bathroom. A family cousin reaches out, convinced Joseph is hiding something crucial.
I don't think for a minute he could ever or would ever do that to Danielle.
He explains why Joseph would protect his sons at any cost. He can't bear losing both children.
I think he knows what happened and probably trying to help little Robert get a head start.
However, there are some ambiguities.
So when did you discover, when did you discover the body? I go, Kevin said he did. And he goes, no, I did on Friday.
Then the cousin drops the key detail.
Any idea where he would go?
It's in the western part of Florida.
Is it Sarasota?
Nope. Pensacola. Yeah, I'm almost positive that's it.
Robert Jr. was diagnosed with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and paranoia 7 years ago. He'd refused medicines and treatment after his mother's passing, growing violent and erratic, not accepting the diagnosis while he began hearing voices. Robert had worked in Detroit, then returned home to help his father with contracting. An alcoholic, his behavior has become increasingly erratic. Now he's a person of interest. Officers ask the public to watch for his white 1999 Ford E250 van, plate DGM 7658, with blue duct tape on the rear window. He's been spotted heading toward Toledo. He even left behind his phone, laptop, and personal items before fleeing. Police later found the van parked at a local grocery store. Could Robert Jr.'s haunted mind hold the final clue to this massacre? Toledo police were alerted, and surveillance caught Robert Jr. calmly browsing the grocery aisles. Police hit every bus station with his photo, on high alert for his capture. But Robert Jr. slipped through in a simple disguise blonde wig, hat, and sunglasses. He almost got away with it, but the disguise backfired. He drew more attention, not less. He also bought a new phone, but those were not his only mistakes. He returned the phone and headed to a gas station for food. He seemed calm, almost too calm. Officers knew time was running out. By August 29th, they suspected Robert would flee by bus or train, so they checked the stations. He had already bought a Greyhound ticket using a fake name and boarded on August 28th, set to arrive in Cincinnati the next morning at 11 a.m. Would they catch him in time? Greyhound staff in Cincinnati alert police as soon as Robert arrives. He asks an employee for a computer and where to buy a phone. She has no idea she's speaking to a crazed butcher. He's pointed to a nearby library, unaware that U.S. Marshals are closing in. He is completely oblivious to the sting operation. As they quietly plan his arrest, the elevator opens. The officers immediately take him into custody. All that was left was to find out why this happened. The answers lay with Robert. Robert appears detached from the gravity of his actions.
Obviously what happened was unimaginable, you know, and it happened to your sister, which is awful, okay? But a lot of times there's reasons why things happen, and whether those reasons are understandable or not, I'm just here to hear you out, okay? So, what did you have to say to us?
Being asked what happened, he shows no remorse, just concern for himself.
That you lost, or what happened? Well, my first question is, what is my charges? I can show it to you, okay? Okay, so normally,
Robert seems stunned by the charges.
Actually, the charge document here, 2 counts of homicide, murder in the first degree. What is that? Premeditated.
He wants to assess the situation better.
I mean, you plan to do it. And if that's not the case, you tell me. You're looking at the worst charge possible. Okay? Killing 2 people. Alright? But nobody can understand why.
He asks to speak to his brother, Kevin.
Okay. So, are you gonna make this case go easier, bro?
Kevin is hoping for a confession, but Robert deflects.
I don't know. What do you mean? Are you guys okay in the house? Like, we're not living there.
He asks a question that triggers Kevin.
We're not living there anymore, Rob. There's blood everywhere. So, are you pleading guilty to everything?
Is he really that disconnected, or just hiding guilt?
What? Why? I can't really talk about it on the phone, but...
Despite DNA tying him to the crime, Robert denies it all. The tragic events of the day are finally clear. Danielle and Seren returned home at 8 a.m. and went to sleep. Robert, alone in the house, attacked them while they slept. He later stuffed their bodies in the shed and cleaned up. But perhaps the most shocking thing was that at 1:20 a.m., he called a cab to Wendy's, still covered in blood.
At Wendy's, or I asked him, did you have a specific spot you want to be dropped off? And he said first, I think, at Walgreens and then at Wendy's. And I pulled right in, and very first parking spot, he got out and paid me, and that's all I know.
After slaying 2 people, he wasn't afraid or worried at all. He was craving Wendy's then. He attempted to escape, unsuccessful, thanks to efficient police work. Robert's lawyers tried the insanity defense, then pushed for second-degree murder. But the jury didn't buy it. They knew he was fully aware of his actions. On January 14th, 2020, Robert Marzejka was sentenced to life without parole. Robert Marzejka was finally caught, but the horror didn't end there. He never confessed, never, and gave a reason. The family couldn't find closure. They still don't know how this could have been prevented or foreseen. This tragedy, like so many others, reminds us of the urgent need to take mental health and alcoholism seriously. Lives depend on it.